Social Media Marketing 2021. The 7 secret digital marketing strategies to turn your online business, personal brand, or marketing agency into a cash cow. Strategies for beginners are included. Written by Michael Branding. Narrated by Jim Rising. Chapter 1. Tool number 1. Upselling and cross-selling. These two marketing tools go hand in hand, and you should treat them as two fundamental resources to extract the maximum amount of money from your customers. If used in the correct way, upselling and cross-selling techniques can be winning strategies to substantially increase the sales of your e-commerce website. In fact, it is not enough to create a simple website to get enormous amounts of sales. You need to make the e-commerce system really effective in convincing visitors to purchase. This can be done thanks to the correct use of upselling and cross-selling techniques. Let's see in more detail what they consist of. Upselling. Upselling is a tactic that aims to induce the customer to purchase a product of higher value than their initial choice. For example, suppose that on an e-commerce site, a lead has selected a certain type of smartphone. Using an upselling strategy, they will be simultaneously shown images featuring similar products but with higher performance. This way, the user is encouraged to purchase a similar but higher quality product. The psychological assumption behind this tactic relies on the fact that once you intend to buy, it is better to buy a valid, high-quality product that can finally satisfy your needs. Cross-selling. Cross-selling is a sales strategy that pushes the buyer to buy products that complete the main purchase. In this case, you do not want to push the customer to purchase a similar product, but rather a different category that somehow completes the first purchase. For example, in the case of smartphones, images of mobile phone covers or films for screen protection will be shown in a cross-selling perspective. Also, in this case, the reasons for the winning nature of this strategy are psychological. In fact, the advantage for the customer is to have everything they need for the management and care of the smartphone or any other product or service they intend to buy. How many times have you received a cross-sell in your life? To us, it happens almost every time we go to the mall. How to apply upselling and cross-selling techniques to your e-commerce site. Upselling and cross-selling techniques can be applied to all e-commerce sites, providing added value and allowing a real increase in sales. However, you must pay close attention to the way in which these recommended products are offered. It makes sense to propose an additional advantage to a customer by showing them similar or complementary products. The positive intention of an advice is realized when it lends itself to providing real help to the potential customer, who, by purchasing a certain product, sees the solution to a certain problem. Upselling and cross-selling thus become useful, friendly suggestions perceived as concrete help during the purchase. It is clear that from this point of view, the customer who has purchased once will return to your online store because they're satisfied and trust you. Upselling and cross-selling are actions to be integrated between the basic sales techniques essential to build a positive and trust-based relationship with the customer. Do not abuse them, and make sure they make sense for your digital marketing strategy. Chapter 2. Tool number 2. Downselling. In the previous chapter, we've talked about upselling and cross-selling. In this chapter, we're going to focus on a tool that is closely related to those tools, and it completes them. We are referring to downselling. What is downselling? It means to offer the customer a product or service at a lower price than that of another similar product they were considering to buy. For example, if the customer is evaluating a silk shirt whose cost is very high, when they decide that they do not want to buy it because it is too expensive, they can be offered another shirt that is very similar from an aesthetic point of view, but less expensive. The customer, who is already willing to buy a shirt with those characteristics, will most likely accept the new purchase opportunity. This technique is very effective precisely because it leverages an effective interest shown by the customer and breaks down the last barrier to purchase, which is constituted by the price. In addition to this, in many cases, it emphasizes the company's attention to customer needs, because it creates a tailor-made proposal that respects the specifications of the product chosen by the customer, taking into account its financial situation. This technique
Sample complete. Ready to continue?